Look, I've been thinking about something totally bizarre, something that keeps me up at night, and I guarantee you've never considered it this way. What if Taylor Swift wasn't Taylor Swift? I mean, take away the stadium tours, the billions, the private jets, the whole global pop phenomenon thing, and ask yourself, what would she actually be doing? It's a mind bender, right? Because she's just so inevitable as a superstar, it feels like fighting gravity to imagine her on a different path. But trust me, we're about to uncover some deep, dark, fascinating possibilities that will make you look at every one of her albums completely differently. You see, the person we know as Taylor Swift, the ultimate mastermind, she has so many secret weapons, so many hidden skills that she'd be dominating another entire industry right now. And the first one I found is so unexpected, it will genuinely shock you. But first, let's talk about the obvious. Everyone immediately says she'd be an English teacher or she'd be a novelist. And yeah, she's a phenomenal storyteller. I mean, Folklore and Evermore practically are novels set to music, right? That's the easy answer, and frankly, I reject easy. Think deeper. Yes, she'd be a great teacher. She's already taught an entire generation how to look for Easter eggs and how to parse out complex narrative threads in 3-minute pop songs. But here's the dopamine hit. She once said in a Vogue interview that her alternative career would be in advertising. Boom! Advertising? The queen of cryptic clues and hidden meanings? Selling you a new detergent? Wait, there's a massive clue here that links her legendary songwriting to Madison Avenue, and it all comes down to one tiny, crucial word that completely changes the narrative. I'll get to that word in a minute, but if you thought the English teacher theory was soft, the real reason she'd crush advertising is darker, more calculated, and totally in line with the strategic genius we see today. Before we get to that secret word, let's rewind. Think about her parents. This is not some struggling artist story. Her dad was a Merrill Lynch stockbroker. Her mom was a mutual fund executive. That is a pedigree of finance and marketing. So the DNA is screaming business mogul. When she negotiated her record deals, she wasn't just some naive 20-year-old. She was a certified business predator in the best possible way. The move to re-record her entire catalog, that's not a poet's move. That's a Wall Street coup. So if she wasn't singing, wouldn't she be wearing a power suit on the 50th floor of some glass tower? She has the focus, the drive, and the ruthless strategic mind to be, I'm calling it right now, a marketing director for a Fortune 100 company. Picture it, Professor Swift at Wharton, giving a masterclass on brand loyalty and vertical integration. But I'm still holding out on that secret word she mentioned because it's the key to understanding her true hidden talent, the one that makes the advertising career completely plausible. So stick around, you won't believe the connection. But here's the twist, a sharp left turn I bet you didn't see coming because this one is straight out of a Speak Now fantasy. She has this other completely contradictory passion, something she confessed years ago that actually makes sense if you look at her later work. Ready for the next hit? Taylor Swift once admitted she'd want to be a detective. A detective! No, I'm not making this up. It sounds ridiculous, like a bad country song plot, but think about it. The endless Easter eggs, the meticulous clues woven into every music video, every outfit, every press release. She's been training us, her entire fan base, to be a global army of amateur sleuths for over a decade. She's the ultimate purveyor of a mystery. Her entire brand is built on solving puzzles. If she wasn't on stage, she'd be wearing a trench coat. But here's where it gets juicy, because I found the specific kind of detective work she'd be phenomenal at, and it links back to one of her darkest, most compelling songs. The one where she literally fantasizes about a murder. Any guesses? The no body, no crime connection is too strong to ignore. She'd be an expert in forensic linguistics, studying language patterns, hidden meanings, and subtext to crack cases. Forget fingerprint dusting, she's analyzing a suspect's text messages to find the hidden track 3 of the crime. This is Taylor Swift who can tell a whole life story in a 4-line bridge. She could absolutely spot the lie in a suspect's testimony. The question, though, is, why forensic linguistics? That's where the parents' financial background comes in, because she'd be an absolute killer at spotting financial fraud, dissecting the language of crooked contracts, finding the long story short of a massive corporate scam. She'd be the analyst they call in when the numbers don't lie, but the paperwork is trying to gaslight you. Don't click away yet, because the first career I mentioned, advertising, has a massive link to this detective work, and it's all in that single, secret word that I've been holding back. Okay, let's finally talk about that word because this is the real aha moment that pulls everything together. When Taylor was talking about advertising, she didn't just say she'd be good at marketing or strategizing, she specifically said she'd like writing jingles. Jingles. Now, why is that an atomic bomb of a detail? Because a jingle is the ultimate form of compressive storytelling. It's not a 4-minute ballad, it's a 7-second earworm that embeds a brand name into your subconscious forever. She's not just a songwriter, she's a hook writer. She's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the 3-second attention grab. That's why she's a cultural phenomenon, and that's why she would obliterate the advertising world. The detective skills, that's her ability to reverse engineer her own success. She can build the mystery, the product reveal, and then give you the satisfaction, the aha moment of the product's genius. But there's a flip side to this genius, a darker, more artistic career that she might have been driven to, and it's the most authentic Midnight's era prediction of all. Imagine she decides to totally reject the high-stakes, ruthless world of business and fame. She's still Taylor, she still has to create, but she needs seclusion. Where does she go? She becomes an indie filmmaker and director, not some Hollywood blockbuster hack, but a true auteur, the next Greta Gerwig or Sofia Coppola. We've already seen her direct some truly beautiful, narrative-driven music videos like The Man and All Too Well 10-minute version, Taylor's version. She has the eye, the patience, and the ability to extract raw, complex emotion. Her music is already cinematic, so this is just the logical next step. But here's the micro hook. If she's a director, what kind of stories does non-famous Taylor Swift tell? She's not telling her story because she doesn't have one to tell. She'd be telling our stories, the stories of the heartbroken, the misunderstood, the small-town girl with big city dreams. She'd be the ultimate empathy engine in film. And this is the most terrifying part. Her movies would be silent. No, not literally, but they would be so visually, emotionally devastating that the dialogue would be sparse, relying only on the most potent, lyric-like lines. Think of the emotional punch of a single Taylor Swift bridge. Now imagine that as the only line in a 10-minute scene. Pure, concentrated devastation. That's her secret power, the one she would unleash on the world. And it's a terrifying, beautiful thought. So, we have the ruthless marketing director, the puzzle-solving forensic linguistic, and the emotionally devastating indie filmmaker. But there's one last totally grounded, utterly Taylor possibility that I personally think is the most heartwarming, and it comes from a deep dive into her early life on the Christmas tree farm, that small detail everyone forgets about. What career combines her storytelling, her meticulous planning, and her love for creating a comforting, immersive world? She'd be a master baker and small business owner. I know, a baker? Stay with me. Think about it. A pastry chef's job is incredibly precise, a perfect blend of creativity and chemistry, just like writing a hit song. Every ingredient, every measurement, every layer has to be just right. That is the same level of obsessive perfectionism that went into re-recording every album note for note. And the small business owner part? The local cozy cafe owner in Nashville who just happens to know everyone's life story and gives amazing advice? That's her entire persona from the debut era, just an apron form. Her cafe wouldn't just sell muffins, it would sell narrative experiences. Each pastry would be named after a complex emotion, the slightly bitter yet comforting redemption roll, the perfectly layered miscommunication croissant. Her Easter eggs wouldn't be in her music, they'd be in the hidden messages baked into the fortune cookies she hands out with the check. This is the Taylor who chooses calm over chaos, cozy over colossal. This is the ultimate dream of folklore's isolated cabin, just with better baked goods. And the best part? She'd still be analyzing people. She'd be the confidant, the listener, the one who can tell a whole story about a customer based on their coffee order and the sigh they let out when they walk in the door. She would be gathering the raw material for the stories she could no longer sing. The local, beloved, fiercely private storyteller chef. And that, for me, is the most beautiful, most satisfying answer of all. The one where she's not a queen, but a cornerstone. But let's be honest, whatever she did, Taylor Swift would be the absolute best at it because her superpower isn't her voice or her guitar. It's her ability to take the scattered, messy details of life and turn them into something universal, something incredibly satisfying, and something that leaves you wanting more. It's what she does every 30 seconds in her songs, and it's what she'd do in any career.
Now, let me know which alternate universe Taylor you'd want to hire. The Ad Queen, the Crime Solver, the India Tour, or the Master Baker. Because the truth is, we need them all.